What's going on, guys? It's Kai here and welcome to another video. Now today's video is very different. We are trying something that I thought I would never try personally. I've been a manual sneaker reseller for over a year now and had great success from it. But botting is something I've always wanted to get into, not just because I want to go for these 100 clips and 10 clips of shoes, because that's very unrealistic when you're just starting out. I just find the whole botting scene very interesting and I just always wanted to try it out myself. Not because of the money wise, just because of the fact that I think it's a skill and I'd love to see just how it is. So I set my challenge to learn how to bot in 24 hours. Now I'm not actually aiming to hit anything, I just want to learn how to run the bot and how, maybe if I can be successful in a drop. I'm going to be talking about how much I spent to go for a release, how I set up and how much I learned as I go through this. So we are going to go for the Dunk Low Pandas or the Dunk Low Black and Whites. These are dropping on Foot Locker and JD at any time. Foot Locker is at 8, however, they usually last ages, and Mesh, which is JD, is supposed to be at 7 AM. However, this did not go to plan. This is actually recorded after how we did. So the things that I learned from this was so much. Obviously, if you guys want to start botting, it is something that takes a lot of time to learn, and it's not just a case of picking up a bot and running it. The bot I rented was called Polaris or Polaris, however you want to say it. It's a good bot. This bot is on the resale market going for over 2 grand. It absolutely cooks Foot Locker old regions, which is always very hard to cook for Foot Locker, and also does very well for Mesh. Now this is the bot that I would like to get in the future once I've learned a bit more, however I thought it'd be smart to rent it. Now at the end of the video we're going to talk about how much it costs to rent and how much it costs to run for proxies, because you need proxies, and also other things like a 2 capture you might not think you might need, but you do need to load a bit of money on that. I'll be going through all the prices at the end of the video. Now I've set myself an aim here, which I've fully achieved, was just to get used to running the bot. Know how to set up your proxies, know how to set up your tasks. There's a lot more that goes into it than you think. For example, JD Sports, they require obviously front end or back end. What that essentially means is you don't know if they're going to drop through the app or drop through the website. There's other little things that you go through during the drop, like your proxy issues and so on. However, I just wanted to learn just the basics and so on. So as I said, we rented Polaris the day before and we just started going for it. Now the proxies we bought, we went for a proxy company called Rampage. These were actually very cheap to get. They were only actually £7 for a whole gigabyte. Now gigabyte, you tend to usually go to over a gigabyte during a Foot Locker drop if you want to run for a long time. So I decided to go for another proxy company called Nebula. Now Nebula proxy seems to destroy Mesh and do well on Foot Locker consistently. So I had my hopes up for these proxies. These were only resis, they weren't anything special, no one sponsored me, there's no private pools. These are just any proxies that you can be accessed by members of public. So nothing special in my setup here, and we started setting up tasks. Now the first thing to do was set up my profiles. This is just basically all of your details, and then like where you live, your billing details and so on, and then we've loaded in our proxies. So after about 3 hours of talking to other people about botting, we managed to set up our tasks. We're ready to go, and yeah, there's not much else to be said, but I've rolled a couple clips that happened during the drop, and yeah.
It's currently 6 AM in the morning. If you can't tell, I look shattered. The drops are at 7 AM, 8 AM. I'm going to go through what I've bought and I'll see how much I spent. I'll go through at the end. It's just a little insight of botting. I've never botted before in my life. We are all ready to go. It's currently 6:45. The PID's likely to change on the drops. This number here is obviously what finds the product. So I'm gonna have to mass edit as soon as the drop starts. So this will be a pain in the ass. However, we're all ready to go. JD at 7, and then we have Foot Locker at 8. Hopefully, Foot Locker is what we'll cook on. This is just kind of like a trial run.
So you can see we had our tasks already, and I started running. I went to record, and basically my phone, which is, if you didn't know, is what I record on at the moment, ran out of storage during mid-drop. Now I can explain what happened. Sorry to spoil it all, guys, but I did not actually cop. Now I wasn't really too mad about not copying. I was more just a bit disappointed the fact because I've been stayed up and I did a lot of research. I've been literally learning so much about botting. However, I was not mad. The reason being is I learned how to actually run the bot. I learned so many different things that you need to know about botting. So my achievements were fulfilled. My targets, felt like I met them, and also I'm going to actually run again very soon, just because of the fact I have a lot of spare data left from them. So to rent the bot, actually will be the only price to, go for the drop, because I already have the proxies because I had data to spare. So prices, how much should I pay? Now, I rented the bot for €20, which is about £18 for the day. Now this sounds like a lot, but this is only a bit more just because of the fact it was quite a hype release. So if it's just like a Foot Locker mid-release that's coming out, then you can probably get away with renting for only £5 to £10. The reason why it was hyped up is because these black dunks were dropping on Mesh, were dropping on Foot Locker, and had good stock. So let's put that to the counter of £18. Now we loaded about just £7 onto our 2-cap, which is basically a thing to do with the captures that you need when doing Foot Locker, because it's for Data Dome. So add another £7, however I didn't actually use any of that, so that will continue on to next drop anyway, but we'll just say it's £7. So that's £25. Now proxies were the only other costs. We've got 1 gigabyte for £8 and the other gigabyte for £12. So putting them all together, yes, we racked up quite a lot of money. What was that? That's what, about £44–45? But here's why I'm not too mad. We didn't even use half of our data for proxies. So we can actually reduce half of that money straight away. We didn't use the £10 to £15 worth of the proxies, and we can use that for next drop. Another thing, we loaded £7 on a 2-cap. That only not even £1 was used for that. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, the only cost we've actually spent was about £5, maximum of £5 for proxies, and a maximum of £1 for 2 capture, plus the rent of the bot. At the end of the day, we only spent about £25 on that release, and I learned so much. So overall, at the end of the day, it's going to take a lot of time to learn how to bot. I wasn't mad that I didn't hit, because I understand it takes so much time and effort to do this. However, if someone is willing to, help me out a bit here and there during this journey, then please do. I'm learning every single day, and I will run for more releases. And I'm not too mad about losing a little bit of money, because I know it will take time before I actually learn how to hit. Now, thank you to everyone who did help me. You know who you are if you are watching the video, and let's hopefully smash the next release. Hopefully this gave you a bit of an insight in botting, and it's not just as easy as picking up the bot and running. There's a lot of things that do go into it. But yeah, that's actually going to end the video, guys. Bit of a different one today, bit of a sit down talking one. So I hope you guys did actually enjoy it. We've got the week in the life coming up, which won't be as good as profit wise as the last one, just because of the fact I should have gone more manual for these black dunks. I completely ignored the manual side of it because I just wanted to go botting. But we've got the court purple dunks coming up. Good luck on all your releases, guys. If you'd like to join the cook group, please drop me a message on Instagram at KaiKicks.uk. This supplies all of the information you need about drops, raffles, one-on-one help, and so on.